in your own opinion, how important is it to have the right network around you?
Well, I don't want to say that you're dependent on the network around you, because you can build one. You can build a network of people by sharing things that help people build amazing lives, and then build a network of that, a culture. But I do believe that in my life, I've been standing on the shoulders of a lot of people. The first probably amazing individual was meeting Howard Hughes when I was 14. Then I met Timothy Leary when I was 14, and then I met all these famous surfers, and I met all these musicians, B.B. King and Buddy Miles and Ted Nugent and all these different, and Led Zeppelin people. I met all these people when I was a teenage. So for some reason, I've been at the right place at the right time to meet the right people, because of the way I had lived my life. And then when I started reading, I went through all the great Greek philosophers. I went through all the Nobel Prize winners, all the great mystics from the East, Chinese philosophers. I prioritize what I feed my mind. I prioritized who I associate with. I made a list of anybody that had global influence I want to hang out with. So I prioritize that and organize my life to be around that. So I do believe that has an influence, but I also realize that my job wasn't just to subordinate to that. My job was to contribute to that and to try to help build people that were global thinkers. So that's, I think, why people come to the classes. They want to be able to make a contribution on a global level around the world. So I've done everything I can by extracting what I've observed and then sharing as whatever I can to help people do that. I wanted to do that. That's the dream I had.
And listening to a few of your podcasts even this morning, John, you talk a lot about the law of attraction, writing down a gratitude list, writing down things which are essentially things that you're proud of, but also maybe some goals, things that you can gravitate towards. I do slightly feel, not with your message, but with the law of attraction message, some people know it, believe it, and share it in a right way. But then there's these other type of gurus out there that kind of just share that message because it sounds good, but they don't really have the science behind it. What is the science behind the law of attraction, John?
No, that's a great question and a perfect summary. I feel exactly the same way. There's a lot of fluffy stuff out there. I had a lady that after the movie The Secret came out, a lady came up to me and says, Dr. DeMartini, I've read the book 6 times. I've watched the movie 20 times, and I go out to my mailbox, and why is there no $1 million in my mailbox? I said, have you considered getting off your butt and going and doing something to contribute to people's lives enough to be able, people will want to pay for it? And then you take a portion of that after you pay your bills and taxes and save and invest that to build your wealth, because that will get you there. Ground yourself. I mean, this is ridiculous, some of the stuff that people come up with. So I'm not into, the fluffy stuff. That's just not, I think that's a disservice to people. But I do believe that we all have a set of priorities. And if we pursue goals that are truly deeply meaningful, that are our goals, not something we think because we compare ourselves to others and think, oh, we should do this, or I want to be like that, envying somebody, trying to imitate somebody, but a real goal that's really deeply meaningful. And that could be raising a beautiful family. That could be building a business. I don't care what it is. It's the thing that's true to you. If you go and pursue that, you will increase the probability of actually perceiving opportunities, taking the actions that it takes to get the outcome, and be patient enough, consistently, incrementally build momentum towards achieving it. I don't like the idea there's an overnight success. I think that's an illusion. Sometimes people have, great opportunities and they're focused on things, but I find that most people are consistent and methodical and patient, and they do things and they keep building up a momentum. I think of long-term patience pays off. Immediate gratification usually costs people, and people want the quick fix, and I don't find that to be the key. So I could say, I set a goal to go to every country on the face of the earth. When I was 17, I had a dream to do that. I'm at 193. I still got 20-something to 30, almost 30 to go. Okay, well, 50 years, I'm a slow friggin' achiever. Probably take me 60 years or more, maybe 70. Well, I could say I'm a failure because it's taken me 70 years to go to every country in the world and speak. But I'm not going to give up on it. I'm just going to keep doing it, and I'm not stopping. And if I have to come back with a Ouija board, in the afterlife, I'll do it. Whatever it takes. But the point is, people want a quick fix instead of a long-term, deeply meaningful life. I always say money without meaning leads to debauchery. Money with meaning leads to philanthropy. And philanthropy is a love of human beings. And everybody's a reflection of you. If you don't love people around you, you're not loving parts of you. I'd rather be of contribution. That's just way more meaning. I don't mean sacrifice. I don't mean altruistic. I believe I deserve something for it. But if sustainable, fair exchange of service, and if you do that, and it's meaningful, and you can't wait to master what it is you do, the law of attraction is really the law of perseverance. You do attract people, places, things, ideas, and events based on what your innermost dominant thought is, if you stay with it over time. I mean, I had a dream. I wrote down 50 celebrities I want to meet when I was 20 something. I met all 50 of those people. You know, literally, I ran into them in these serendipitous ways that was just mind blowing. But I read it and I focused on it, and I definitely manifested it. But I also did action steps every day that increased the probabilities and odds that I was doing that, because I was going on writing books and going on television, and there was higher probability of running into them. I was going to nicer restaurants where they happened to go to eat. You know, it wasn't mystical. It wasn't some esoteric thing that made it happen. I was doing the action steps that increased the probability of achieving things by persevering towards something that was meaningful to me. And I tell people that's way more probable than some fantasy esoteric outcome.